Erica!
Just hurry, John.
I'm doing what I can. Did you call?
Yes, I did. Drive faster.
We'll save him, Erica.
Whoa.
What is it, Red?
Just my intuition, I guess. Weird. I've had this weird talent since I can remember. I can see images from the past, from certain objects, by touching them and focusing them. I can always see a faint aura on the things I know hold visions. Scott, please be here. What the hell? John.
This is definitely the Kane killer's work.
Only read blood. What the hell does that mean?
This has got to be the place.
It's fresh and it's blood. John!
Keep it together, Red.
Here goes nothing.
Erica, we should wait for backup. I may not have your intuition, but even I can see it. This is a really bad idea.
There's no time. Scott's life depends on me now.
Erica, stop!
John, let me do this. That's it! Whoa!
It's a trap! Get out of there!
Only read blood. Of course. He's watching us. And only my blood will open this door.
That's ridiculous. He might not even be here right now.
I'm not taking that chance.
Step off that crazy thing, now!
You stay right there.
Whoa, 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 Red!
Stay the hell back, John.
Eric, think this through.
He has my brother in there. My baby brother. I appreciate what you're doing, but step the fuck back because I'm doing this.
Fine. Erica, it's not too late to think this through.
I'm fine.
God damn it! Why do you have to be so damn stubborn?
Ah! Fuck!
Erica, please, I'm begging you.
I'm all right. Don't move.
We're going to get this fucker. I promise you.
okay?
No, I'm fine. My shoulder. I'm fine.
Scott? I have to get down there. Fast.
I'll be all right. Shit. Don't go in there, Red. He'll kill you.
No. I'm going to kill him. Oh, Scott!
Erica, please get me out of here.
Oh, Scott. What has he done to you? This trap is for me. Scott and I were the Kane Killer's newest targets. The bastard! He takes siblings. Okay, Scotty. We're getting out of here. Look, Scott. When they...
By the time you find him, you won't be able to do anything about it. You'll be blind from staring at that screen in the dark.
I like it this way. I can be half asleep and work at the same time.
Egg sandwich?
It's 2 in the morning.
Exactly. Time for breakfast.
Did you hear? Davies closed the Kane killer case.
I heard. And yet, here you still are at 2 a.m.
I'm just making sure everything's in order before it's sent to the archives. Why are you here?
I pick up my phone in the middle of the night. Apparently you don't.
Oh, crap. I didn't hear it ringing. Davies? I'm sure it isn't pretty.
No, it ain't. Lots of blood and guts, they say. Or maybe I dreamed it. You sure you don't want your egg sandwich?
You can have it.
Come on, Skippy. Davies will have our asses if we don't show up 10 minutes ago.
You know how I hate that name, don't you?
I do, Skippy. Man, that egg sandwich smells good. You sure?
Let's go.
Finally, you get your ass down here.
My ass was busy closing Scott's file.
Look around and then come talk to me. And John, please wipe your mouth. I can smell that egg sandwich all the way over here.
Hey, it's a good sandwich, ain't it? What do you say, Gallagher?
Sure, if you want to drop dead from a heart attack.
Hey man, I'll back you up. They don't know what they're missing.
Gallagher?
Reed,
What do we have here?
white male, mid-40s, cause of death, strangulation.
So he was definitely killed by the hanging.
No doubt about that. He suffered a very agonizing death. The cerebral hypoxia was as slow as it could have been.
English?
Deprivation of oxygen to the brain.
Any signs of struggle?
Not exactly, but there are marks on the body. Bowlby can fill you in on his theories.
Any idea how someone got him up there without struggling?
I can't say for sure without running an autopsy. Look at the spots in the shirt. Most likely saliva. In victims of hanging, the tongue protrudes by the pressure on the jaw, causing it to dry. My best guess is that the saliva was then caused by some kind of a drug used prior to the suffocation.
The killer must not have been strong enough to do this without drugging the victim.
John Doe here is very well built. I couldn't take him.
Are you kids done theorizing? I'd like to get back to my work.
A very slow death, you say?
I believe he was not dropped, but rather raised with the rope. Add to that the height of this table, just tall enough for the victim to reach it with his toes from time to time, allowing for the compression of the trachea to stop every once in a while.
What about loss of consciousness?
The weight of the body causes the compression of the airway, arteries, and jugular veins. If done correctly, the victim should pass out in a matter of seconds. But in this case, you can see how his brain expanded. Look at the veins in his forehead. He stayed conscious for at least 30 to 45 minutes, maybe more.
Whoever did this must have really hated the guy.
He also defecated. It's another sign of prolonged cases of suffocation.
So that's the smell. And Davies pinned it on my sandwich.
Lovely as ever, John. What else can you tell us?
I'm trying to finish my work, if you don't mind. Stop by the morgue tomorrow and we can talk more. And bring something to keep Bowlby entertained and stop him from coming down to interrupt me when I'm working.
Hey, I heard that.
Good.
When did they move forensics?
They just moved him into our building this week. Temporarily, they said. Thankfully, it's only him. I'd go crazy if they brought the whole forensics freak show.
Have you looked at yourself in the mirror lately?
Excuse me now. I'd like to finish this so I can get back home to my cats.
I'll bug you again if I need more info.
Try to be quick.
Ever since Scott died, it's slowly gotten worse and worse.
Are you all right?
I'll manage. Hey, John, any idea what this is?
No clue. Ask Terrence.
Hey, Terrence.
Yo, E!
Do you know what this is? It was under the shelf.
No freaking clue. Looks old. Is it evidence?
Are you confiscating it if I say it is?
Maybe. Does it have any prints? Ah, screw it. Keep it. But bring it to me tomorrow. Oh, and keep it clean.
You said it looks old?
Yeah. I've seen something similar. Ask me another day, when there's coffee.
Terrence?
Really, I don't know. Do whatever you have to do with it and bring it back.
Hang in there, buddy.
Yeah.
Reed, we're paying for the damn cell phone so that you take the call when I ring you. Is that clear? Now, what have you found? How did the victim die?
Suffocation.
Who is our John Doe?
We can't identify the victim yet because the victim's fingertips have been skinned.
Any leads on the killer?
The killer struggled with the hanging of the victim, which leads us to believe that the killer is smaller and skinnier than the victim.
That's it?
That's it. I may point out, however, that Terrence is being overworked, so he's not exactly at the top of his game.
When I have questions about how to run my branch, I'll ask you. Anything to add, McCoy?
No.
Wonderful. Not only are you too late, you're also worthless. Go get some sleep and get your asses to work tomorrow early. I want to see you in my office as soon as you're in, Reed.
Yes, sir. Can I ask a question? Why are we taking this case?
Tomorrow. Now get out of here. Erica.
Sir?
How are you holding up?
I'll be fine.
Good. Get some rest. I have a bad feeling about this one.
You called?
Erica, I know how much you care about what happened to Scott, but I'm afraid I'm gonna have to let you off the case.
Don't do this to me, Davies.
I have to. It's been 3 years.
This is bullshit! I'm so close to getting somewhere.
No, Erica, you're not. I've seen your reports. You're going in circles.
My dad put you up to this?
Brian's worried about you. Listen, I understand how much this means to you, but it has to stop. I put my job on the line, letting you take on a case in which you're so personally involved. And I did it out of respect for your dad. But it's time to move on, Erica. Even your dad agrees.
I can't.
You have to, Erica. I'm afraid that's an order.
Are you all right?
I just need a minute. There's
What is?
my visions.
I told you to go see someone about that.
Shh, they'll hear you.
Do you still have that card I gave you?
Yes, John, I do. But the whole hocus pocus thing, it's not me.
Listen, Rose runs an antique shop. That thing you found, Terrence says it was an antique. So go ask her about it, and while you're there, maybe bring up these visions of yours. What can it hurt?
If that will shut you up, fine. I'll go tomorrow.
Go now. She's a night owl. Closed in the mornings, open all night.
Great. That sounds perfectly normal.
Go on. I'll hitch a ride to the office.
Hello, my dear. I could feel the spirits were active tonight. I knew someone would appear.
Yeah, that'd be me. So, does the shop have the identity problem, or is it you?
Very observant. What's a pretty girl like yourself doing out at the witching hour?
Special Agent Reed. I'm here to ask you some questions about an antique.
My favorite subject, Agent. And you can call me Rose, my dear.
I wanted to ask you about this.
Ah, that is strange.
What is?
This is only a piece of the toy. Ah, yes, it is a le pendu, or at least very similar to one. Precious things. Ah, beautiful.
A what?
Le pendu. It was a line of toys that had their roots in the French Revolution. It is said that those in high society used them at secret parties. Mysterious, do you not think? And some say they used these toys to scare their children into understanding what justice could do to them if they did not follow the rules. Horrible, is it not?
So why would a toy like that appear in a crime scene last night?
That is your job, my dear.
So you sell antiques?
You do not just sell antiques, my dear. I like to see it as a way to preserve these beauties through the generations. But yes, this is an antique shop, among other things.
Like what? Reading a crystal ball?
If a customer wants to talk to their dear departed mother or father, I am happy to help.
Right. Do you read the tarot too?
I make an honest living, Agent. Nothing wrong with that.
Other than extorting people's hard-earned money, no.
I give people what they want. I know when people need healing and how to help them heal. Right, my dear?
Could this have come from this shop?
I have not sold one in a while, but they are not as uncommon as you may think.
Do you know of any other shops that may sell them?
Toy shops, other antique stores. I bet they show up in those online auctions too. As I said, they are not all that uncommon. I am sorry, my dear.
What else can you tell me about it?
The artifact is indeed old, but it has been modified. The wood is very old, and so is the varnish, but the cuts are new. Is this the only piece you found?
Yes. So there are more?
Well, yes. And I would say these cuts were made to fit into some other piece.
Do you carry these?
There is one right there.
Thanks for the help.
Anytime, my dear. Now, tell me the real reason why you are here.
Something's been happening to me. A friend suggested I talk to you about it.
Go on. I am listening.
I keep having...
Visions?
I'm sorry, I'm not exactly comfortable.
Listen, my dear. You can tell Rose whatever is happening to you. These old bones have seen it all and heard it all.
How do you know? Did John McCoy call you?
Jean McCoy. Where do I know that name from? Ah, yes. Jean. Another FBI agent. More easygoing. He came here a few years back. Poor soul. He was utterly lost. He loved my coffee, and we used to sit at that table over there, talking for hours. I would guess you are the girl he told me about.
Wish he'd let me deal with this on my own.
Sometimes we do need a push, my dear. And here you are, taking the right steps. When did they start? The visions. I will tell you what, go and sleep on it. Visit your brother tomorrow.
Wait, how do you know?
Sleep on it. And if you are ready tomorrow, come back here and I will show you a few things. All right?
We'll see. Let's see what's new today.
Hey, Erica.
Sully?
Davies told me that she had to leave as soon as she got here, to let you know.
Thank you.
She said she needed to talk to you about that antique you found yesterday.
How did she know? Terrence.
Yeah, she was mostly talking to herself. You know how she does that. She had a similar piece or something?
Really? Interesting. Need to see this thing.
I'm sure. Are you avoiding me?
Sully, I have 10,000 things in my head right now. Can we talk later?
Sure. You want to grab lunch later?
Not today, Sully. I really am busy. Maybe some other day?
Yeah, you got a hell of a case. By the way, you left your jacket at my place the other night. I can bring it by, or maybe you could...
Yeah, bring it by.
Sure, no problem.
How's the autopsy going?
This is an interesting one.
Have you found anything new?
The subject was drugged. I found high doses of a substance in his body.
Have you identified the substance?
I've sent it to the lab. I'll have more info on it later.
Is there anything you can tell me about it?
It was probably used as a sedative. There are no signs of direct struggle, other than those of dragging the body. Whatever contusions there are must have been caused by the friction of the skin with other materials, like when the killer raised the victim to the table.
So it was a smaller person.
Whoever did this definitely struggled with carrying the mass of this body.
You are certain now that the victim was killed by strangulation?
After close examination, strangulation was the catalyst, but the victim suffered both a heart attack and a hemorrhagic stroke.
How exactly did that happen?
The blood pressure progressively reached higher values. That, combined with the lack of oxygen, was a fatal combination that caused all regulatory systems of the body to fail. The brain and heart are only some of the organs that suffered massive damage.
How long did you say this process took?
I would say between 45 minutes and an hour.
Are we running tests to ID the victim?
Yes, Agent Reed. I know how to do my job. We set a dental and are running a DNA test.
Weren't lucky with fingerprints?
The fingers are extensively mutilated, but I will try to reconstruct it later and see if I can get a partial.
That's gonna take more than a few days, isn't it?
Indeed. Well, now that's unusual.
What the hell? That looks like a piece of the antique I found at the scene.
Seems somebody left you a clue. I think I'd best hand this over to you.
Thank you. I'll look into it. Mount Auburn. That's where Scott was murdered, and where Dad decided to bury him. Damn, I forgot to bring flowers. Dad decided we should bury Scott in the same place he died, instead of where Mom is buried. I never asked him why, but I didn't want to deny him anything. He was so broken. These are pretty flowers. I'm sure no one will miss it if I take one. This is terrible, but no one will miss it. I hope. Hey, Scotty. How are you, baby bro? I'm sorry it's been a while. Oh, look at this place. It's a mess. Frickin' leaves everywhere. I wish I could say I have a great lead on your case, but Davies closed it. There's nothing I can do about it. And this thing that I've got is still out of control. How are you? How are things on the other side? I'll come more often, and I'll bring Dad next time. I promise. And I'll keep this promise.
Excuse me.
Yes?
I don't mean to be rude, but you took the flowers from my brother's grave.
Oh, I'm so... yeah, that,
Don't sweat it. I couldn't help but overhear what you were saying. You lost your brother too?
Yeah. I'm wicked sorry. I'm Erica. And you are...
Cordelia.
I'm so embarrassed, Cordelia. I'll pay for a wreath.
No, it's fine, really. It was just funny. You were so natural at it.
Wait, what does that even mean?
So sneaky.
Oh, yes, well, I'm known for that.
Well, I didn't mean to interrupt. I'll be over there.
Where have I seen her before? Probably here, but... Hey there.
Hi, Erica.
You look familiar to me.
That wouldn't surprise me. I hang around here a lot. Sometimes I even sneak in at night.
Really? Wow, that's dedication.
I take care of the family business. Max was an ace at it. He would always tell me what to do. So I still come here to talk to him. Or talk the issues through myself, I guess. I see you do the same with Scott. Is that... I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be intrusive.
Yeah, Scotty. I don't come here as often as I would like, though. But I must have seen you here before. When did your brother die?
About 6 years ago.
Scotty died 3 years ago. Has it gotten better?
A little. It's not so much the years that pass, but that you learn to accept it. And that's always the hardest part.
Scotty was murdered. I'll only rest when I put whoever killed him behind bars.
Are you a cop?
FBI. And yeah, that's what makes it even harder to accept. I have to go now.
Well, hey, you seem all right. If you ever want to hang out, you can probably find me around here.
I've never been asked to hang out in a cemetery before. Maybe in high school.
We can go somewhere else.
You know, as morbid as it sounds, the cemetery is fine. We can be close to them. I'm sure they'll appreciate it.
It was nice meeting you. Hey, Erica, you dropped this. Rose?
You know her?
Yes. She took a lot of the pain away. Are you seeing her?
I'm trying to figure out if I want to.
You should. She's really something special.
Thanks. Hey, Rose.
Yes, my dear?
So, why did you decide to open an antique shop?
I'm good at finding the rare and the strange.
That certainly makes me feel better.
The things in this shop are wonderful trinkets, full of mysticism and meaning. If you like something, you just have to ask.
I've had the time to think about last night, about this thing of mine.
Your visions, you mean?
How do you know about that?
Many of my customers ask the same questions. You do not believe in the crystal ball, neither do some of them. Sometimes we mock what most haunts us.
All right, I'm getting tired of this runaround. If you want me to be upfront with you, why don't we start by you telling me what you know, and then we can take it from there.
Very well. What do you want to know?
What do you know about this stuff?
You remind me of myself. I used to be as inquisitive as you are. I wanted to know it all, the very last detail of everything. And sometimes I asked more than maybe I should have. But I don't regret my life or the places it took me. This store here is living proof of where I've been and who I am.
Are you going to answer my question?
You are what some people call a scion.
A what?
A scion. Listen, I'm telling you what you want to know, but in return, I'm going to have to ask you to let go a wee bit, to hear the stories, to let me help. If you won't let me help, there's nothing I can do.
I feel really uncomfortable talking about my visions.
You have been using them, have you not?
I have, but
So what is the big deal? This is something that you have. Embrace it fully, because it is a part of you, and it will not go away.
until a few days ago, I seemed to have some control of it. But now, it's very painful now when I try to use it. Sometimes I see myself things that haven't happened to me. Is that bad?
No. But I wonder, why is it happening? Before, you always saw the past?
Yes.
Maybe you are evolving.
What?
If you can see the past in ways no one else can, is it so strange that you should start seeing the future as well? That would be amazing. Has something happened to you recently? Something upsetting?
My boss closed a case that I wasn't ready to close.
Let us put this vision of yourself aside for now. Let us focus on your ability to see the past. Are you ready for some training with Mama Rose?
I'm ready.
Very well. Tell me how you use your power.
I touch something and it happens.
Good. You are not afraid to use this power to your advantage.
That doesn't make me feel like less of a freak.
It is an amazing gift, my dear. Never forget that. Now I'm going to teach you a neat trick. I like to call this projection. With it, you will be able to extract the memories from a place to see the events from the time you wish.
Places have memories?
There's energy everywhere, my dear. When you learn how to tap onto it, well, there will be no one that can hide a secret from you.
If your eyes could see what mine can't. What does that mean? If I could only see what you saw. Wait, the message. What is he looking at? What's this? There's a photo inside. What do we have here? A photo? Who's leaving these? And who are you? I'm going to email a digital picture of this to my computer so I can look at it later. I wonder who she is. All right. I should look for any details that can tell me who this woman is. What is that on her bracelet? Her name? Sarah. All right. I should be able to use that if I want to cross-reference it with something. This is her, the woman from that picture. Let's see. I remember a little about this case. Davies and Sully handled it. And she was buried at Mount Auburn Cemetery. Same as Scott. Hey, Sully.
So, you changed your mind about lunch?
No. I need to ask you something.
What is it?
I found your name on a case and I need details. You remember anything about Sarah Goodman?
How can I forget? That was my first case, when McAdams was still in charge. I took the case with Davies.
Why did the FBI take the case?
Because of the husband. He refused to believe it was a suicide. He had some important and powerful friends, and we got pulled into it.
How did it go down?
The husband had left for a business trip. He was always abroad. When he came back this time, he found his wife hanging in their condo and immediately notified the police.
How did the case get handed off to the FBI?
The detective on the case immediately ruled it a suicide. The husband made some calls, and before you know it, Davies and I were driving to the scene.
So you were there at the crime scene?
Yeah, it was wicked awful. The woman had been dead for a while. Nothing like that for your first real case. Not that it was much of a case, or so Davies thought.
So the husband, this Robert Goodman, he was cleared of all charges?
He was abroad on a business trip. We checked, and his story cleared. He was very disturbed. Nobody's that good an actor.
Do you know where I can find him now?
As it happens, yeah. I saw him not long ago. He's on the streets.
He is?
Yeah, here's the saddest part of the story. He never gave up on the case. He obsessed over it. Quit his job, spent all of his money, lost his home. And it drove him mad. I dealt with him a lot of times when he would come here to beg for us to reopen the case, saying he had new proof.
So that's who that was. I remember seeing him a few times, yeah. Did you ever look at this new evidence?
Briefly, he went on about the possibility of someone having done this to others, but Davey said we'd be wasting our time, and really, there was nothing concrete. As for where you can find him, he hangs out around Shafter Avenue in Dorchester. I'll send the exact location to your phone.
Who closed the case?
Davies. We did our due research, interrogated Robert Goodman, but there was nothing pointing at murder. We talked to several family members who knew Goodman's wife. They had moved to the city recently from some suburb in California because of the husband's work.
What did the relatives say?
The victim was on antidepressants. They'd been living here for a little less than a year, and she wasn't coping well with the move. It all pointed to suicide. So, what's your interest?
I need to look at a couple of things before I can say. I may need your help on this.
Anything you need, Erica.
Thank you, Jared. See you later, Sully.
Yeah.
Hello. I'm looking for Robert Goodman. Do you know where I can find him?
Who's looking for him?
I'm Special Agent Erica Reed, FBI. Can you point me to Robert Goodman?
That would be me, Agent. What do you want?
You were married to Sarah Goodman, is that correct?
What about Sarah?
I'm conducting an investigation on her death, and I'd like to ask you a few questions. I was wondering if you can come with me to the station.
I'm sorry, but that's a part of my past I'd rather not relive.
It would really help if you came to the office with me.
No can do. I am fine where I am right now.
How could I convince him? Is this Sarah?
Oh, Sarah. Yes, this is her. I don't remember when we took this picture.
Mr. Goodman, I know this is difficult for you. I've read your file. I know what happened. There's new information on this case. I believe we may be dealing with a killer. There are others out there whose lives could depend on your help. Will you please come with me?
I'll come with you, Agent Reed. But I'm not sure I can be of any help.
Your wife, Sarah.
Beautiful woman. Very kind. She didn't deserve what happened to her.
You don't believe she committed suicide?
I didn't believe it was possible at the time.
There's new information, and...
I've spent a long time trying to convince you people she hadn't killed herself. But that was such a long time ago.
Sir, I'm a firm believer that it's never too late for justice. We may have made a terrible mistake.
Yeah, tell that to Agent Davies and Agent McAdams. Are they listening? Agent, those still are very painful memories to me. I'll help you. But I don't see the point in all of this anymore. Sarah is gone, and that's something that will never change.
Do you know this man?
Well, that's horrible. Why are you showing this to me?
Trust me, I wouldn't show you if I didn't need to. We found him dead last night.
Wait. I do know that man.
Do you know his name?
Yes, of course. I don't remember.
Anything that you can help with. Where do you know him from? Anything?
I'm sorry, Agent. I don't remember.
Hello, Rose.
Hello, my dear. How are you doing, my dear? How's that case you were asking about last night?
I'm having some issues with it. Something maybe you could help me with?
Tell everything to Mama Rose.
I'm talking to this man. I need to help him remember something. I can see his memories, somehow, but there are pieces that are missing. Things he can't recall.
People sometimes bury details, but you'd be surprised how much they can remember if pointed in the right direction. Like when the sweet smell of a bakery reminds you of Mom's delicious baked goods. Mmm.
Right. But how can I figure what will trigger him to remember?
But you can do much more than just that. You can see what they think they have forgotten.
He's a little twitchy already. If I start telling him this stuff...
That is not the way to go about it. You can use your own mind to help them without pronouncing a single word. Think of it as a kind of regression.
Regression? How?
Is there anything in particular you want to remember, my dear?
Sometimes I wish I could go back to the time when my brother was killed.
Oh, my dear. Are you sure this is something you want to do? It can be very damaging to your soul, a thing like that.
I went to the cemetery today, and something's been bugging me ever since. I can't put my finger on what, so I'd like to try to remember.
As you wish. I will be here to help you. Close your eyes. Go back to that moment, that day. Remember what happened.
I can see him, but I can't quite remember.
What is fuzzy to you right now?
It's silly, but I can't remember the color of his jacket.
What else?
I don't know if he was calm or angry or sad. I can't remember. I always see him angry at me. Angry at...
Try to remember what it really was, not the memory you've painted since. Tell me when you are ready, my dear.
I think I got it.
Now focus again. Focus on the actual regression and finish that memory you have just manipulated back into what it was. Are you okay?
I'm fine. Cordelia?
Who?
Someone I met today. She knows you. I stole a flower from her brother's grave. I'm such a horrible person. Who does that? What kind of a person forgets to bring flowers to her brother and steals them from another grave?
Calm down, my dear.
He was calm, Scotty. He had this expression on his face. He knew he would die, yet he had such a calm expression for my sake. He knew I had failed.
But you are still trying, my dear. And he knows that. Wherever he is, he knows that.
I remember now. I remember clearly. I took a picture of Sarah before we walked down to Copley Station. Sarah had that look on her face. I knew exactly what it was.
God, this station is dirty.
They need the janitor from our station. What's his name again?
Mr. Longmore. Anthony.
Anthony, yes. He's a nice man.
Yeah, he's one of the only friends I have.
You have to make an effort to like this city.
It feels like our life is a long string of goodbyes.
And hellos. Sarah, you know this is what I do for a living. Here, I wrote this for you. I could only find a napkin. I love you, Sarah.
Your train is here.
I'll be back before you know it. That was the last time I ever saw her alive. After I found her hanging in our apartment. My job, none of it made sense anymore. You have your name now. Am I free to go, Agent Reed?
Robert, I'm going to do my best to get to the bottom of this.
Oh, thank you. For Sarah's sake. You're a kind woman. I know it's none of my business, but you mentioned a brother who'd been murdered. Whatever happened to him, let it go. Don't end up where I did.
Have you seen any good memories lately? I have one for you. Search for Amy Lewis. I'm sure it'll ring a bell or two. Oh. Who the hell is sending me these? Another hanging. Ruled as a suicide. But I have a feeling it's another murder. I'll have to check on this case later. For now, I'll focus on the Goodman case. Who's sending me these messages? McCoy?
Red?
I found the name of the victim.
That's my Red. Do you have an address?
Yeah, heading there now. Coming?
Ah, no. Too many donuts. You take Sully with you.
Great.
What? He worked on the case.
Did he put you up to this?
Ain't Cupid a fat ass too?
That's the address I got from Anthony Longmore's records.
I got the keys from the landlord.
2 points for diplomacy.
Hey, you know me. I'm a charmer. He mentioned that Longmore was going to move out at the end of the month. What are we looking for?
Anything that can tell us why this guy was killed.
Found something?
Maybe. What are you hiding?
Let me get down there for you.
Always a gentleman.
All right, give me some time to go through this. What is all that?
Let's look at it. This is our guy, Longmore. So he's kept a file on himself? Let's see. Looks like he worked in public transportation in New York and Memphis. He was charting his weight every few days. He has a detailed account list of all the movies he's seen this year, and women he noticed while in the theater. Sarah Goodman, Amy Lewis, and Elizabeth Bauer. I know Sarah and Amy, so does that mean that Elizabeth was already... Oh, damn it! She was before Sarah. There are notes in here on them, tons of details. Today I brushed up so close I was able to smell her. What? What is this? Elizabeth, it looks like Longmore had a pretty detailed fantasy life with you. Lots of notes on it. He knew where you lived, too. 730 Joy Street. Sully, call someone in the department and find more on these women.
You got it. Hey, Martin. Yeah, I need you to look a few things over for me. Yeah, I have a couple of names for you. Yeah. Uh-huh. Right, okay, the first one. Okay, we got some info here. These women were all suicides, except for Emily Carlson in New York. They never caught the killer, but it was an obvious murder. The third woman in New York, Nadia Schwartz, hasn't been reported as missing or dead.
Sully, Anthony Longmore was a killer.
You think? What's our evidence?
Those women from the safe are his victims. He took those photographs. And he's been doing it for years, until someone stopped him last night. He was in Tennessee first, and then in New York. He killed these women, and he had a pattern. He kills in groups of 3.
How do you know?
2 reasons. He was moving out soon, and he's killed 3 victims in every state except for New York. Look at the boxes. You mentioned the landlord said he was moving out. He was done here, ready to go on to the next city. He killed in 3s all the time.
But what happened in New York? Why is Nadia Schwartz still alive?
Because of Emily Carlson's case. They almost caught him. He fled New York before his work was done there, and he could never get to Nadia Schwartz. It's clear, even the way he met his victims.
How?
He met them through public transportation. He worked there. That's where he targeted his victims.
Yeah, you're right. But if this piece of shit was murdered last night, done in the same way that he killed his victims, then who killed him?
Good question. And why did they send clues to Davies? And to me?
This is a hell of a mind screw. We gotta keep looking. It's a bunch of tools. Lots of rope. And get this, even some nooses. I also found this.
Hello, hello. I've been looking for you. Good job, Sully. It's from something called Le Pendu. I got it. It's all together now. Creepy. Huh. What's this? It's a memory card. Let's see what happens. Hey, isn't that...
You got it. The Old South Meeting House?
Yeah, what's that got to do with anything? Sully, look at this. Over 3 centuries ago, Samuel Sewell repented in the Old South Meeting House for atrocities he once helped along. Tonight, someone new will take the blame and shame.
There's something loading.
As long as it's not a bomb.
This message will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
Drop it, you ass.
We make a good team, don't we?
Shit, Sully, it's Davies. She's a target.
What the fuck? How do you know? I can't...
Trust me on this. We gotta get to the meeting house now. Move it. We're pulling in right now.
Erica, wait for backup.
John, Davies could be in there. Did you try her phone?
She's not picking it up. No one's heard from her all day.
Get your ass here quick. We're pulling in.
I'm on my way.
What's the plan?
Check out the bell tower out front. I'll head into the main building hall from the side door. Be careful.
You too.
I have to stay undercover. He's got a better vantage point. He'll see me. Oh, got it. There, that should do it. Let's try this. Aha! That should make things a little more even. There it is. There it is. What's happening? Stop it! Sully, John, suspect is on the run. Brown coat, brown hat, and
gate.